Hey all, it's Isa with Journey to Programming. It's been a long time since I last posted a video, and I wanted to start this back up again. This last few years have been kind of crazy for all of us, right? With COVID kicking off in kind of early 2020 and affecting the entire world, and then kind of just moving from there. Lots of different things have happened in my life. So I just want to say the last video I posted was a long time ago, and then I kept on intending to get some more kind of videos in production and getting more content out for you, whether it have been me actually writing code and providing samples and like education videos, or if it were more so discussions like I'm going to do today. Nevertheless, I didn't have that opportunity again. Life happens, and we'll talk about that maybe in a few minutes, but I'm back. I want to get these going again. And before I jump in, I just want to say I really do appreciate all of you that are still finding my videos useful. I have noticed that there are still a lot of views coming in. In particular, it seems like a lot of people have found my C# linked list video very useful, and I think that's super cool. I hope that that video kind of helps a lot of people understand linked lists better. So, again, it's been a while. COVID happened. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope everybody is in a better place nowadays. Let's go ahead and jump right in. All right. So, today, what I really want to talk about is software engineering in 2022. So, where are we right now? Right now, it's August 18th, 2022. And just for context on me, for those of you that don't know, I have a computer science background. I've been a software engineer for a while. I ran my own businesses where I did more interactive type development, where I was either working on educational games using Unity 3D or Unreal Engine, or I did some theme park work where I did some ride programming and interactions, and then I did a lot of work in the museum space. So museums around the world, I've had the awesome opportunity of developing interactive games that are physically installed and require an interactive component to them for people to use. So I've had a interesting background for the past decade, basically. And for those of you that don't know, I developed kind of at a young age. So that just sounds kind of funny the way I worded that, right? So I began developing software and writing code at a young age. I wouldn't necessarily call it really understanding software engineering, but I knew how to put together websites. I knew how to write JavaScript. I understood vanilla PHP, and I was able to write basic commerce, right? And that was way back. And I did some stuff for small family businesses and stuff like that. And it kind of helped me get a little bit of side money through college. But yeah, I've had a lot of experiences, random ones since then. For those of you that don't know, also, I've done a lot of contract work over the years. So usually I've worked full time. Simultaneously, I've always done contract work, whether that be software development or it be, for a while, I did real estate because I grew up in a real estate family. I still do that nowadays. So if anybody has questions, feel free to reach out. I'm a licensed realtor in California, but I'm not going to plug myself too much there. But anyways, so that's the background context for me. And then I began doing YouTube videos, I think back in 2016-ish, 2017. I began the Journey to Programming podcast. And then I kind of just kept doing videos here and there. I learned how to improve my quality. And that's been hit or miss either way, even though I improved. But yeah, it's just my story. I've done podcasts for a long time. I actually began doing podcasts back in 2012, and I basically operated a game-focused podcast for like 2 years with a team of friends who began a startup with me and a sibling of mine. So again, lots of stuff. So I've had great opportunities. It's been a lot of fun. And I like making these videos mainly just to share with you guys, right? So when I initially started Journey to Programming, the idea was I wanted to share my knowledge, my experience, and then let other people find a community where they could understand what is it like being somebody learning to become a programmer, getting into industry and persisting in the industry, right? And growing your career there. So to be 100% frank, I mean, I've done a variety of jobs over the years, and I had to go through that uphill battle of getting my first programming job. I wasn't like the super studious ones of you that have landed internships in college. I didn't know that stuff. I really didn't have the exposure. I didn't have connections. I didn't have the family that told me to do it. So I kind of learned after I graduated that I've got to apply. And when I applied, I didn't do well in interviews. I really didn't kind of have the right mindset at the time when I was interviewing. And that was kind of tough. So I went through years of trying to figure out my own business stuff. I started that company with friends and family for a while. And then I eventually landed a SWE role at a big DoD company. Some of you know that I worked for Lockheed Martin for a while, and I worked on the F-35 program. Super cool. I love the people there. My manager was very, very accommodating, helped me out a lot. I super appreciate that. Vaughn, if you ever watch this, props to you, man. I do appreciate it. And I made some good friends there, but it was not the place for me. So I simultaneously, while working there, did some contract work. Again, I was doing web dev, and I started really picking up my game dev skills at that time. So I picked up a few basic game contracts, Android stuff. And then from there, I actually got a full-time job with a connection I had in the games world in basically Pomona, California. So if you're from SoCal, you probably know where Pomona is. It's kind of east of LA. So I took that job. I went there, I was at a university, and I got the opportunity to work full-time in basically game engines. We wrote a lot of educational games for a university. A lot of it was R&D, and we were developing educational games for not children. We were teaching university students who are in med school, pharmacy school, veterinary school, how to do whatever they were studying, right? So if you had surgical students, they got to do it in VR. If they were learning some material, we got to do some gamification. And that was back in 2014, 2015, when this was still pretty new. And Oculus was still being run by Palmer Luckey, and really we just had the DK1, and the DK2 had maybe just come out soon, around that time. I think the DK1 was 2013, then the DK2 was like 2014, 2015. And from there, I kind of helped develop on the HTC Vive, did some stuff with the original Rift. And yeah, so I had a lot of really cool, interesting opportunities there. Then I went into full-time running my business, and I taught simultaneously this whole time at the university, Art Institute of California. And that was an interesting experience. I loved running my own business. I loved having a team that I got to build and experience kind of the engineering pipeline and being able to lead them in a sense. And I got to do cool theme park projects too, which was really fun. So that was part of my experiences in the past. And then I progressed to going to the East Coast, did a lot of museum interactives and all sorts of various stuff. So where I am now, I've actually been working at Meta since 2019, the end of 2019, and I've been an engineer for a while. I actually moved over to engineering manager not too long ago, and that's because I've always had that natural instinct of loving to help people and also helping support them. I do have an inclination to try to jump in and support too much sometimes, and that's something I'm working on, but it's just something I enjoy doing. So it was something I spoke to my manager when I got hired very early on, and then well, we kind of worked through the discussions there. I was an engineer again for like 2 years, and then I moved over. So I've got a lot of knowledge on that side, and yeah, I just want to share with you guys. So again, in my business experience, I've done a lot from procuring work, where I've written bids on large contracts for governments, for private institutions, for business to business, and then I've tried selling business to consumer before. I've tried doing the all well-known SaaS kind of business, which became a really, really big fad for a while for developers. Every 5 minutes I'd get a message right here from someone coming out of the woodworks, maybe from my past kind of like experiences, or maybe from childhood, coming out and saying, hey, Issa, you're a developer, right? You know how to write code? I've got this genius idea, and we could charge monthly and people are going to flock to it, right? So I've gone through all of that, and then again, I've got the game experience. So yeah, lots of fun. And throughout that, I've led teams. I've been a main engineer. I've been a lead. So yeah, that's why I do these videos. I want you guys to get the experience from the horse's mouth, the horse being me this time. I've gone through a lot of the ups and downs throughout my career. I think it's a great thing to talk about because a lot of times people don't just outwardly talk about it. And I'm a pretty open book. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Um, but yeah, I don't want to keep this video too much longer. I think this was really just a let's get back into things and let me kind of get a little practice speaking to you guys again. I think the next video I'm going to do will be a little bit more focused on what the topic should have been here. I was going to talk about software engineering in 2022, and somehow I moved that over to giving you a refresh on what I've been doing, my life, and my story. So I will relabel this to be my story. And then on the next video, I'm going to try posting pretty close after, or pretty soon after. I'll focus on software engineering in 2022. And what does that landscape look like from somebody who is a experienced senior engineer in the industry, as well as a manager at Meta, right? So I'm not going to plug too much there. I'm going to let you wait for the video to be posted. If you have any questions, I always tell you guys, reach out, write in the comments. And if you have any suggestions on any kind of feedback on how I record videos, on my voice, if you think I'm annoying, if you think I'm awesome, I appreciate the comments all the time. So again, have a good one, you guys. I appreciate you following the channel. I appreciate you subscribing. And I look forward to putting out more videos and maybe doing some live Q&As with everybody. So have a good one, you guys.